There's still a lot of construction at Facebook's new headquarters here in Menlo Park, California, which really just goes to show you about the tremendous growth of this company. And of course, a lot of people, when Facebook does go public, a lot of people are talking about the numbers, you know, how big the company is, how much it's valued for, how much Mark Zuckerberg will be worth. But I think if you dig a little deeper, there are so many leadership lessons that we can learn from Mark Zuckerberg. One, keep it simple. He had the courage to keep the site simple, clear, and easy to use, while there were a lot of other websites that were cluttered and confusing and hard to use. So one, keep it simple. Two, Mark Zuckerberg had a real passion for changing the world by connecting people in new ways. Passion cannot be underestimated. And the third thing we learn, communication and the power of communication. Zuckerberg believes in being a great leader and a great communicator, and so he's improved his presentation skills along the way. He's tried to become a better public speaker. But there's so many other things that we can learn from Zuckerberg. I spoke to leading industry analyst Tim Beharon about Zuckerberg, vision, and leadership. Tim, I'm a big believer in vision. I think it's important that a leader inspires people with a great vision. It sets forces in motion. What role did vision play in Zuckerberg's success?
He understood that connecting people together was a really critical part of a social network in essence. And this was, typical college kids, right? I mean, they all have their own personal networks. But he began to realize, I think, when he started Facebook, and this is what eventually became his vision, is that as he expanded the idea of what a social network would look like, why not actually make it a web-based thing so that people could connect across campus? And it was very, very focused at the initial phase. But very soon he began to realize, well, if we can get college kids to connect, what about mothers and fathers with their kids, or family members with friends, etc.? His biggest business sense was bring smart people to help him. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I have seen over the years working with tech startups, that they tend to think that they can do it all. But the really successful ones get what we call adult supervision very quick. And once he started bringing in individuals who could also share the vision, it was easy to solidify the fact that this potentially could make a lot of money.
Tim, here are some other leadership qualities that you believe we can learn from Mark Zuckerberg. You said Zuckerberg believes you are destined to fail if you don't make mistakes. What do you mean by that?
Well, Silicon Valley actually is a poster child for mistakes. We have learned, and this is one of the unique parts of the Valley, is that if you don't fail, you're not trying. And the other thing that drives us is there is no fear of failing. Failing is just a stepping stone towards finding out how to do things best. Edison was actually one of the greatest in that concept. But when you go to other parts of the country, the fear of failure keeps people from doing things. And this is really critical. One of the real keys of Silicon Valley success is the understanding that it's okay to fail because it's just a stepping stone to find out how to do things right.
Tim, you say that Mark Zuckerberg does not build services to make money. He makes money to build services. What do you mean by that? Well,
it's interesting because he if you read about him and you actually talk to people who know him pretty well, he's not really in it to the money, for the money. For all of us, money's important. But I have really learned in 30 years of covering Silicon Valley is that so many of the entrepreneurs I deal with believe they have a mission in life. And it's the mission that drives them. It's not the money.
Now, I have to ask you, and I'm a little embarrassed to do it, but I have to bring up the hoodie question. Some Wall Street types have got their feathers ruffled because Zuckerberg showed up to the pitch meeting in a hoodie. I don't think that matters very much. I think that's his uniform. It's what he's comfortable in. What were your thoughts?
The reality is, in the end, they're going to all be kicking each other and stepping on each other to get the Facebook IPO and the shares. You're right. The individual's vision, direction, skill, and management of the team around him who can execute on the vision is important. How he dresses is totally irrelevant. I think the number one thing you learn from Zuckerberg through this experience, especially these 8 years, is that you take that vision that you have, you put all your energy into it, and you get a lot of smart people around you to execute on it.